Welcome back to FacetNet. Today, in this video, we're going to see a recent Google update, which is a very interesting update that Google have done. So, Google has introduced something called Google App Password. So, we're going to talk about Google App Password today. So, what is Google App Password? Google has announced that they are no longer going to support, which is from May 30th, 2022, Google no longer support the use of third-party applications and devices which ask you to sign in to your Google account using only your username and password, which means so those applications without asking two-factor authentication, they said that they are no longer going to support these applications. So what happens is the devices and the applications, they are using simple username and password, which is your Google's username and password to log in, is no longer going to work. So this is the announcement that it has come out from Google. So it clearly says from May 30th, 2020, Google no longer supports. So what's the alternative and what we have to do? So the first thing, Google recommends you to go and turn off the less secure app access from your Google account. So what Google thinks it is vulnerable to keep the single way or a simple username and password to authenticate. So they are going to be by default turn off the less secure app access. That means we can't use it. So what we have to do is we need to create an app password. An app password is a 16-digit passcode that gives a non-Google app or a device, it permits to access your Google account. This is another layer of a protection given by Gmail or Google account. So how do we enable it, or how do we create the app password? So for us to create the app password, we need to go to Google's account. So in Google account, under Google security, we need to turn on the use of two-step verification. So once you turn on two-step verification, then we can create the app password. What we do now, let's move on to practical. Right, now let's see how to create the app password to permit the less secure app to use Google account. So for us to do this one, let me go to the Google account. So this is my Gmail account, right? So on this Gmail account, go click on your Gmail and then click manage your Google account. So when you go manage your Google account, click under security. So when you go down to security, you will see the option two-step verification is turned off. So what you have to do is turn on the two-step verification, right? So just go on and then turn on the two-factor authentication, which is called two-step authentication, and your password. There you go. So now it is going to ask you to provide the telephone number to turn on the two-factor authentication. Now you can see I got the number, so verification number I've entered and then I verified. Now it says it's worked, and now I'm going to turn on the two-factor verification. Turn on the two-step verification. Right, so the next step is to create the app ID. Let me go and create the app ID. So I'll go back to two-step verification. Since I go back to two-step verification, I can see here the app password option. So click app password. Now here we have the option. By default, Google has got specific applications here. So mail application, calendars, contacts, and YouTube. So if you're not going to use with any of these one, then you have to pick other. So just provide a name here. The app, this is for you to remember that you are going to use it with what application and all. So I'll say I'm going to use this with my Kali Linux social engineering toolkit, and I'm going to create. Here we go. So now this has created a password. So I'm going to use this password to authenticate. So how does it work? Go to the settings of your Gmail account in the application or a device you're trying to set up. Replace your password with this 16-digit password. So for example, you're trying to set up an account with your username and your Gmail account password, but instead of putting your Gmail account password, put this password in there to get authenticated. Hope this helped you to understand the Google changes and these changes to secure your Google account. Thanks for watching.